What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the SOOP Duel series. We're continuing on with Stork today versus RoyaL. RoyaL over here in the top left, Stork in the bottom right. We saw some great TVPs lately, both in the KCM and here in the SOOP Duel series. So I'm hoping that this will be no different. RoyaL's put on a good show for us lately, and we'll be looking to see some good games out of him. I'm definitely betting on RoyaL here if I was a betting man. That's where I'd be placing my money. Looks like RoyaL going to open with potentially a gases fast expand this time. Be throwing down his barracks on the low ground. Preparing a bit of a Sim City here to work with. I'm not sure if he can place the supply depot on the right-hand side of that and still have a place to micro, but it's not going to matter. Stork going for a Nexus first, as he does. Stork heavily reliant on the Nexus first in this matchup. We'll see him do that a lot. But, you know, it could be a bait, right? He might be just thinking, I've got good enough control in this early game. I have good enough decision-making that even if RoyaL tries to bust me, I'm still going to be fine. CC coming up with the gases fast expand. Pretty decent matchup for the Nexus first, and so we're going to catch on to this SCV, see how much damage you can put onto that. Some good movement from RoyaL. Very hard to keep hitting that as it's moving back and forth. Really trying to make some space here. Does make that space as he gets into the main base. Will go unhindered, scouting the rest of everything here in the main. Stork gonna start to chase that. You can see his APM considerably higher than it usually is. Like during the mid game, he's gonna be floating around 300, but here he is at over 400, dropping down little by little as this game progresses. Okay, I see the setup. Yeah, that's a very nice setup from RoyaL. Supply depot on the right hand side, CC above that. Looking very good, very difficult to break through with any sort of forward zealot play. And with that not coming, still it's useful. It's going to be able to sit here with no bunker for quite some time, knowing that there's not going to be a Dragoon out for a little bit. Can just hang back and get his factories online that tiny bit sooner. And so factory already on the way. Second factory most likely will get started here soon. But this is where RoyaL could start to change things up a little bit. We might see him go for a starport. I think he just threw down the second factory. There it is, second factory on the way. And so it is a pretty standard follow-up from RoyaL. Now, RoyaL could try to get a little greedy. Skip out on the eBay early, go into some Goliaths. Go Armory and Academy. That's a pretty strong way to follow this up. Not quite as strong as going directly into eBay for defensive-wise, but it's stronger when you end up doing your attack. So here comes the Armory. Is he going to go Armory Academy and just rely on scans plus Goliath? That could be what we're seeing here. Can be a little bit dangerous if there's some sort of a DT follow-up. But as long as just the standard plays coming out, if it's just a robo play, or even if Stork wants to go, you know, 3-gate observer and just get a fast third base, that's probably going to be the strongest play for RoyaL. Get some Goliaths out early. Don't invest in turrets until you're ready to move out. Get these factories up a little bit faster and really start to pump out that army. Still sitting on 2, and it is indeed Armory Academy. With a little vulture slipping out here on the map. Looks like he might kill a probe. There we go. Get that probe kill. Be able to block the Nexus from coming down easily as well. Another mine here on the high ground, but easily targeted down by Stork. Should be able to clear out that mine with just a bit of good micro. Looks like he does get rid of it without taking any damage. Now Stork moving his probe down there. It's an opportunity to maybe snipe that, but the vulture coming in towards the natural. Tiny bit late on that. And so Stork will get his third down here right around the 6-minute 30 mark, it looks like. Drop that Nexus. And there's the scan. He sees the Reaver play coming his direction. Only one Gateway Reaver. It's a bit of a flimsy play from Stork. He's relying heavily on this Reaver. If the Reaver shuttle goes down, there's almost nothing behind it to stop a push. So he's got to be very careful with that Reaver. There are 2 Goliaths out already. He might go for really fast range. I'm not sure what he's upgrading right now, but it's possible he's going for Goliath range to shut this down completely. You can see he has no turrets just yet. Starts a 3rd command center. Interesting. RoyaL just immediately starting that 3rd command center. Let's see if he can hold off this Reaver appropriately. There is a observer in the main checking out everything, seeing exactly the positioning on those Goliaths. It would be nice to snipe that, and so in fact he will do that. Looks like Goliath range is done. So Goliath range being done is quite a big factor. Oh, the hold position, or the stop position on that tank actually makes a big difference here. He's kept spamming the stop on that tank until the Reaver popped out so he could take a shot at the Reaver. Got some kills with the Reaver, but RoyaL did put a lot of damage on that. Now looking towards a 4th base here. Stork, can he really afford to make a 4th base right now? Well, maybe with the 3rd CC coming up this quickly, there might be a chance. Oh, can he hit that SCV? SCV. All right, does live, and tanks will pull up. Ready to hit that. Stop the Dragoons from slowing down the CC. And now he's going to start to move forward. Time to start adding on some turrets here. RoyaL should have an eBay finished up. Start to make that turret ring. 4th base is done here. We've got a Stargate as well. This is probably for a carrier transition. If I know Stork at all, it's likely that we'll see that carrier transition come online sooner rather than later. He really loves to play carrier in this matchup, and it suits his style very well. And in fact, he is going for those upgrades, switching into carrier here as RoyaL takes his 3rd. It'll be up to RoyaL to spot that and react accordingly. He's got the 3rd base online quite quickly after taking minimal damage overall from the Reaver and the drop here. Ooh, picking off that shuttle pretty quickly, but the secondary shuttle will be useful in juggling this Reaver and looking for more damage. Can he get a big shot? Just the 1 SCV kill there. Not as big as I would have expected. 1 more hit does take down the shuttle, and now the Reaver can be cleared. Kills on some of these Zealots, maybe picking off a tank or something like that, but overall, SCV count is still very high. Can't get over to his main base once again to start mining that. Transferring those workers back, and RoyaL built up a pretty decent overall supply. 105 is not a standard time to push, but I'm not sure if he actually scouted the carrier transition, or maybe he's just expecting it. Tank gonna go down here. Secondary tanks are gonna fall as well. 2 tanks for just 1 Dragoon is an insanely good trade. This counterattack really working wonders for Stork right now. In fact, he might even catch some more units as they're popping out. Gonna be catching some Goliaths here at the natural. There's almost no Goliaths with that army that's pushing forward, so every Goliath he kills here in the natural is huge. It's big money for Stork, so Stork gonna start making some zealots here. He probably doesn't have speed even yet, as of yet, but his carriers will be popping out here soon. Picking up quite a lot of stuff here at the rally point for RoyaL. Surrounds some of those Dragoons with the SCVs, but more arrive. And Stork can just give up his natural. Gonna bring 2 Reavers over here. Oh my god, the Reaver hits are so good. Standing from high ground and just blasting these tanks. Oh, it's so painful. RoyaL's gonna have to back up. And this buys so much more time for Stork to get his carriers online. Still, Dragoons over in his natural are just cleaning things up. There are quite a few turrets out here now. And Goliaths will start to come out. Not able to fight from high ground here against these Goliaths, but still, Dragoons trade very well against this regardless. Probably want to wait until the Goliaths actually come down from the high ground to take that fight, and looks like he will. Vulture's coming back just to assist a little bit here. There is a Reaver over at the 3rd base as well, doing a bit of damage. We're not getting a view of that right now, but there they are, Reavers over in this base. Gonna be pulling back here, trying to kill as many Goliaths as possible. Gets a pretty good shot there, killing quite a few Goliaths. Not gonna get that one last shot. 3 carriers moving around the backside here. Can he clear this army before the Goliaths arrives? I think it's a tall order. Goliaths are getting very close now, making their way over here. There are the carriers starting to snipe down a few of these tanks. The turrets have been abandoned over here at the front. Oh, only 2 tanks in there. Looks like he's going to eat those mines and then look to clear that out. Tanks pushing forward here. Few Goliaths at the periphery. I think Stork's bought enough time. I think he's managed to hold, and he's got 1,700 minerals in the bank. Quite a bit of economy to work with. Can make a lot of interceptors, and he can keep making carriers. He's about to hit 6. 6 carriers is a big break point that'll be hard for RoyaL to overcome. He's killed the natural, but he hasn't really done more damage than that. The base down at the 6 o'clock still has cannons, and the Reaver defense from that high ground was really punishing for RoyaL. This base is going to start to be attacked now. Going to start to go after that. More cannons being made. Stork just has so much money right now to work with. He might as well start throwing down cannons. Just get something out there to help deal with all of this. Oh, the 1 carrier is taking quite a bit of damage, but that turret will now be taken care of. Tanks coming up onto the high ground, just a little bit poking here, trying to get some kills on these probes and hopefully target down this nexus before the carriers arrive and start to deal that damage. Natural. Going to be retaken here for Stork. This Reaver has done some serious work. It's going to be pulled back to a potential 4th base from RoyaL. He's just going to deny 4th bases and continue to work on this carrier count. I think it's a great plan for Stork. He's got 6 carriers now. He'll have 9 carriers in a moment. And as long as he keeps these bases alive, I don't see a great way for RoyaL to win this game. It's going to be a tough road to recovery for him. He's going to move up to the north. Look for that 4th base finally by clearing out these 2 Dragoons. A much easier force to contend with than the Reaver, but this 4th base is coming online pretty darn late. RoyaL going to have a hard time defending that with Dragoons and carriers making their way forward to this high ground. Yeah, fighting down from the high ground. He can start to snipe these tanks on the low ground pretty simply. Yeah, getting 1 tank after another. Dragoons on the high ground just backing up, letting these vultures try to throw down their mines and just gunning them down as they pop. Can't really move forward here with the ground army because of all the mines right now. Doesn't have an observer with this force, but just holding the high ground is enough. Now he can rotate around the top if he wants and start to get up on that high ground over the natural and at the 4th base. Still, RoyaL doesn't have a CC over there, so it's not incumbent on him to get in there and deal with that just yet. Falling back, waiting for more reinforcing carriers, keeping these upgrades going. That's all good stuff right here for Stork. as he moves over to a defensive position with those carriers. The Reaver's going to be brought back home as well. RoyaL thinking about taking a 5th base over at center left. Looks like that SCV is going to get picked off. SCV denied. That one single Dragoon. Takes a long time to pick that off, so RoyaL has been slowed down by quite a bit. Gets his 4th base online, though. He still has a chance in this game, sitting at 166 supply, but things are looking a little bit dire. Stork has a huge carrier number, and he's got that +2 done as well. +1 shields, helping out a bit. Also, doesn't have a second cybernetic score, at least that I've seen. So can't get double upgrade here, but he's got so much economy to work with. If he does something like get on top of a high ground with Reaver and the carrier, it's going to be so hard to break, and that's exactly what he's going for here. Diving directly in while the carriers tank, the interceptors tank these turret shots. Reaver's on high ground with a bunch of zealots of these carriers up here. That's too many carriers to deal with, man. Stork runs away with this game. GG, game number 1. All right, guys, we are back for game number 2. We got Stork over here in the top right. And of course, RoyaL in the bottom left. That carrier game was pretty strong from Stork. Definitely some mistakes were made on the side of RoyaL, but the opener was good. The opener was very solid from RoyaL. I like the game plan. Just a bit off on the execution, and for sure Stork threw several wrenches into the game plan in the form of Dragoon counterattacks. Just, RoyaL had a good timing. He got in there before the carriers came online. He set up that really nice spot. Should have been able to knock down multiple bases, but just wasn't quite able to. Wasn't quite able to reinforce that attack either, so things got out of control pretty darn quick with the triple carrier production. Going up to 6 very fast, and suddenly we're at 8 carriers, 9 carriers. Hardly a tenable game state at that point, and this time Stork not opening with a Nexus first. Here on Deja Vu, maybe a little bit worried about you getting busted, especially in close positions. Stork gonna find out soon, though, that this is actually cross map and that RoyaL's open gas, so it would have been a decent opportunity to go Nexus first, but we'll see what the game plan is here for Stork with this build. Might look for something pretty tricky. I don't think he can stand purely gateway man versus RoyaL. RoyaL incredibly strong against that style. Does put a bit of damage on this Marine, funnily enough. Wow, 3 hits? Not bad at all, and keeps the probe alive. That's going to make RoyaL feel a little antsy. Maybe throw down the bunker kind of early. We'll see. Hiding the Zealot behind the mineral patches is funny. He wants to send that across, make RoyaL think there was no Zealot. Yeah, he's going to get in here and see a Dragoon pop. And the Zealot is just a mystery. Don't have a range started here just yet. Can afford it, but it's not going to throw it down. Not going to start it. So this is interesting, right? RoyaL gets in here. He sees no range, and he sees no Zealot. And so he might not drop a bunker. He might just go straight to CC. No bunker. Maybe Stork can just run in here and start killing Marines, because there is that one low HP one. Let's see. Dragoon, Zealot, Probe is a very strong combo against pure naked Marine. Here we go. It's coming out. Yeah, gonna bully him back hard, and pulling the Zealot as well. Pulling the Zealot behind the Dragoon. Not allowing the Vulture to get free hits on that. Gonna have to pull a lot of SCVs here to try and deal with this. Ooh, pretty good surround with the SCVs on the Dragoon. Or on the Zealot, excuse me. The Dragoon here gonna kill all the Marines and then back away with the repair. It's not gonna be easy to kill that Vulture, and so This worked out pretty well for Stork, I'd say. If he doesn't lose this Dragoon, it's pretty fantastic. Hold on. That was some good body blocking. Can he get the kill? Ooh, Vulture goes down, but Dragoon does die. So the trade here for Stork, not bad. I'd say getting rid of the first Vulture is pretty darn good. RoyaL doesn't make the bunker here just yet. Kind of gets away with it, in a manner of speaking, but he does end up losing a lot. 4 Marines and a Vulture were lost for just a Zealot Dragoon. Now he's going to push across the map with Marine Tank. Oh, DT follow-up. DT follow-up from Stork. Sitting here on just 1 gateway, though, and the DTs are not ready for this attack. This attack could be quite painful for Stork to try and deal with. I believe this is just for mines right in front of the base, but mines in front of the base hurts when you're going for DT play. Nice pylon there, just blocking things out. Vulture here still can run by, though, and the probes are going to be pulled to try and deal with this. Can he actually get the kill on the mine? Okay, one of the mines goes down. Second mine is quite annoying, though. Oh, okay, good target there with the probes. Builds another pylon just to block things out here. Dragoon coming down. Range has got to be done by now. Range just finishing up. And these mines are going to be placed right in the very front. Gonna dive on top of the low HP Dragoon. Actually, he targets... I thought the other Dragoon was the low one. Okay, that's the one. He targets the Dragoon with the lowest HP. Gets rid of that. Vulture's coming in, guys. I think this might... this game could just end. Gonna get a good surround on that tank, actually. Tank will go down, but Vultures here should be able to maneuver away. Oh, wait. This one has not much HP. He will get rid of that. 2 DTs pop out, but this is the benefit of being so aggressive with the Vultures. With this push, is that now these DTs are kind of trapped, and he's actually going to pick those up. This is a great opportunity to run in. RoyaL should see that. Immediately pull the trigger on a run by with the Vulture. Just go directly in there, start killing probes. He should know that there's no Dragoon out. This is a DT drop play, so you can see Stork really cut a lot to get this DT drop going. Didn't have the army to actually deal with that attack, so I would say this has gone very well for RoyaL, who's just defending back at home, setting up his mines all over the place. He is ready for this to come in. Yeah, that's not going to get damaged. Immediately killed. Losing that DT is quite painful. He's going to go to work on this. Oh, man. He can't even get the supply depot. That turret is so well placed. Yeah, that is truly frustrating here for Stork. Gets no damage with this DT play. Absolutely crippled in this game. He's going to add on some gateways because he knows that an attack can come. He can't even get his 3rd base, guys. We're going to see like a 2-base Stork just kind of falter here. Oh, he lost a Dragoon as well. Oh my gosh. Losing Dragoons to mines right now is so painful. Yeah, I think that Stork has kind of already counted himself out at this point. And we're just going to be waiting for the closer from RoyaL. Unless he makes some epic mistake, like we're talking, you know, pushing out onto mines and a Zealot bomb drags mines into his entire army. We're not going to see a victory here for Stork unless something like that happens. Storm is on the way. Very early Storm. I've seen this a lot lately. It was at one point traditional for Protoss players to go directly into Arbiter after a DT opener. There's some synergy there with the cloak and baiting out storms and that sort of thing, and then switching into Arbiter and the Terran not having enough detection. That can be a thing, but more recently I've seen more and more very quick storm play out of Protoss players. Opening DT drop into Storm with Shuttle. It's like he's got some Storm ready, actually, for the natural. He can go ahead and cast Storm here and kill a lot of SCVs. If he wipes out half the SCVs, I still think he dies to this attack. I still think, even with 25 SCVs, Royal can just rally vultures and kill you. Oh my gosh, here we go. Attack coming across the map. Stork got 3 Dragoons. He has 3 Dragoons back at home, so it's not looking good. And one of them just died. Oh my gosh. All right. DT. Gonna force the pull, perhaps? Although there is now scan, so you can't really force the pull. Oh, Storm. All right. He killed like 7 SCVs still. We're not getting a shot of what's back at home. Look at all that stuff. Holy. Yeah, see, if that DT pulls a mine into every single tank and, you know, blows them all up, then maybe there's a shot. But as it stands, that's just not happening. This is just not the way it's going. That's a pretty good Storm in the middle of everything, but GG is called, and RoyaL takes game number 2. All right, let's see it. Fighting Spirit, Stork in the top right, RoyaL in the bottom left. Haven't watched this map for a while. I think this is a 2025 series, considering Metropolis is there. That's what I would have assumed, but I'll link you guys in the description when I find out exactly when this was played. If I can indeed find that, I will look for it. I thought Metropolis was only part of the new map pool, but it might have been getting tested or something, I'm not sure. In 2024, it's possible. But anyway, regardless, here we are on Fighting Spirit. One of the harder maps, I would say, for TVP. Maybe Darren in the modern era can handle it a little bit better. New strategies have been developed and such, but I always found this map incredibly difficult for Terran. Getting your third base online is an absolute nightmare. I think putting a little bit more building or buildable terrain between the natural and the third would have made a big difference. But there was just never enough turret space. There's never enough space for turrets to be built, in my opinion, to try and set up that third. And also pushing up onto that ramp when there's Dragoons and Reavers there is an absolute nightmare. You can always push out and take the other third, but then it's just so far away. It's on such a little island, so we'll see. It's not the worst possible position here for RoyaL. It would be much worse if Stork was in the top left, but cross map, I mean, yeah, maybe RoyaL can still get over there, or sorry, Stork can still get over there and try to deny that third. We'll just see. We'll have to see. 2-base push has become such a strong meta for Terran players, so maybe we won't even see that third, or it'll be taken behind a push or something like that, rather than, you know, trying to get that online as quickly as possible. No Nexus first here again for Stork. Gonna be putting on pressure with Zealots, and I actually really liked the play from Stork last game. It's just the follow-up was too skimpy. He thought, you know what, I've killed all of your Marines, I've killed your first Vulture, you're not gonna attack me. And RoyaL said, no, I'm actually gonna attack you. I'm actually gonna attack you. It's probably the situation you're just not gonna be ready for another 3-4 Marines to suddenly show up. Because usually Terrans don't build that type of Marine count, especially after losing the first few. So that was a good mind game from RoyaL. Ended up putting him into a great position and gave him a lot of information about what was going on. He was able to see those DTs and the drop as it was coming across. So very good, solid game plan from RoyaL here. We're going to have a similar push in with the Dragoon Zealot Probe. Once again, 4 Marines and a Vulture. But this time it's going to go way worse for Stork. Look at that. You can see how much that bit of early damage and just hiding the fact that the Zealot was coming made in Stork's push last game. Remember, 4 Marines and a Vulture were killed last game. This time 1 Marine was killed. So the mind game not going Stork's way. Just early trade kind of working out in RoyaL's advantage. And a second Dragoon coming across the map here. We'll see RoyaL probably send in his... Oh, that Vulture slipping out is kind of big. Ooh, Stork lets the Vulture slide along that left-hand side. I'm not sure if he saw that. If he didn't see that, he could get counterattacked here. Or the Vulture can come up and lay mines right behind this. And then RoyaL can push with SCVs and Marines with the tank and push the Dragoons back into the mines. Looks like the Vulture is actually going to go all the way up to the natural. Not as big of a fan of this play. I much prefer to see the mines placed behind, but he's going to get in here, maybe kill some probes. Oh, that connection there is pretty big. Bringing the Vulture down to just 5 HP. Might get 1 more probe kill. There it is. 1 probe kill over in that main base. So not the most impactful. Again, I would have rather seen him put down mines behind this and just kill all 3 of these Dragoons. Stork only has the 1 gateway still. His entire main base has been scouted. He's going to fall back. Dragoons are taking a bit of a beating. No reason to keep them that far out. There could, in fact, be a mine. And he just sends the Dragoons straight back home. So if there was some mines, man, he really would have potentially taken a lot of damage. Third base is coming up here for Stork soon. We'll see the follow-up from RoyaL shortly. Another Armory Academy, most likely. He saw the whole main base, so it's not... Oh, wow. Engineering Bay. Engineering Bay is a little bit interesting. He's actually going to go for a push. 4 tank push with Engineering Bay. And just Vultures with mines rallying across the map. Interesting decision from RoyaL here. Might be able to catch Stork making a quick 3rd Nexus, but in fact, Stork hasn't made that Nexus yet. He's going to have Reaver to help defend this. Plus a good number of Dragoons at this natural. So I don't see this going super well for RoyaL. We'll see, though. He's going to park right out in front of this natural, and it is quite a difficult choke to push through. Tank's going to siege up immediately. Dragoons backing up. Trying to make some Zealots right now. Get them in there with the Reaver and try to drop on top of these tanks. Bomb them down. Let's see if he can get the shots off. Zealots are going to soak some of that damage. But a great Reaver shot. Oh my goodness. What a fantastic Reaver hit. Going to drop in between the shots here. Can he get 1 more Reaver shot? Oh, not exactly. Reaver might be good just to keep it alive. To defend the Vultures that are definitely rallying right now. Oh, that Reaver is super low. Oh, Observer flies right into the turret. Does manage to survive, though. Yeah, just keeping that Reaver alive is at least preventing RoyaL from just running in. RoyaL could absolutely just run in and start killing some probes. So be careful with that. Does get rid of the tank. Successful hold here, I'd say, for Stork. Even though he lost most of his Dragoons, 12 kill Reaver, being an absolute hero, clutching it out. 3rd base is going to warp in, and this is a good spot for Stork. A really good spot. Kind of an ill-advised attack there for RoyaL, but this is what it is. Wanted to see if he could pull Stork apart here early, get himself a big advantage. Now he's in a bit of a disadvantage. Not impossible to overcome, but Maybe if he loses these 2 tanks and whatever's rallying up here, trying to get this push working, he might be in such a bad position after that fact that Stork just rolls him over. Like, this is a push that could maybe get some good damage going. You know, maybe you get in here, kill some probes, you know, possibly kill the Nexus, but if it doesn't work, you lose all the tanks, and you're in hot water. You're in a bad spot. Reaver's actually going across the map. That's not what I was expecting here. Vultures are going to run in and start to lay down some mines. Oh my god. Okay. Does target down the mines there. The Dragoon makes its way up. Quite a few probes have died, but this Reaver coming in could do insane damage to these SCVs. It's a risky play to send the Reavers across the map right now when so much pressure is being levied on his side of the map, but it could pay off massively. He's in fact killing quite a few SCVs. Going to drop right here in the SCV line as it's moving across. Start to really knock down a ton of these SCVs. Okay, some tanks pop out. 2 Goliaths as well, and he manages to kind of dodge the second shot there from the tank. Keeping that alive. Should be able to kill the tank now at least. Yeah, tank will go down. So that tank goes down. We didn't see it on screen, but you can assume. Goliaths here don't have range, and the shuttle has speed, so he can keep that alive. Not as much damage as I thought. I thought he would get way more damage with this Reaver, but he does clean up the attack, and he keeps his probe count at a pretty healthy number. 40 probes available to him right now, and RoyaL's having a hard time, man. He is really having a tough game here. His attacks, both of them haven't really worked out for him. The Reavers have done massive work clearing out everything. Probe's going to be pulled to the ramp. Well, it's not super necessary, but that Reaver going to defend this high ground just fine. Bring down some mines here, but that'll be swept immediately. It won't be long now before Stork can move to take a 4th, and trying to take a 3rd right now, like this is when it becomes really tough. He's actually gone for Reaver damage. That's interesting. I think he's upgrading Reaver damage. I believe I spotted that down in the production area. So diving in here is kind of scary. He's actually gonna go for it. Oh my god, he loses one of those Reavers. Pretty big shot with that one Reaver, but can he get a lot of tanks? He needs to get a lot of tanks here to make this worth it. Oh, I don't know about this, guys. I really don't know about this. This is kind of crazy. He lowers the tank count even further, but I feel like if he just parked the Reavers on the high ground at the 3rd and just had the Dragoons standing here in an arc outside the natural, the position is almost unlosable. It's so hard for RoyaL to push. It's so hard for RoyaL to take a base. And Stork can just macro up a enormous army to crush whatever moves out. Once you move out on Fighting Spirit, there's not really a great place to batten down. Like, there's not like a tight corridor to push through or anything like that. You're just out in the middle. And so Zealots and Dragoons can take great fights. Hard to cover all your flanks with mines. Now RoyaL's going to go for a push across the map. It's kind of a desperate maneuver, but, you know, he killed 2 Reavers. So maybe there's not that much power for Stork back at home. He is just going to walk directly into the clutches here, though. Stork diving right on top of these tanks. He's got some Dragoons in here in these shuttles. He's going to drop those on the flank. Just kind of a funny way of doing it, but okay. He's going to drop those out. No Reaver in the mix, and actually the Dragoons are filing in a little bit slow. However, this is still a lot of Dragoons, and there's not a lot of buffering here for RoyaL. I think we may see a tap out as the remainder of these go down. Perhaps not, but it's still, again, very difficult spot for RoyaL. Pushed all the way back, and gonna loop around towards this 3rd. I still don't think this is gonna work, unfortunately, for him. Stork, not that high of a supply, but he's got a lot of Dragoons to work with. He's gonna have a couple more shuttles, or I think he's still got the shuttles, right? The shuttles didn't die. There was only one Goliath in there. They probably didn't kill both the shuttles with that. He is gonna set up some turrets over here. Dragoon's gonna clear out these mines. Only 2 tanks, so that's the problem, right? There's so many Dragoons, and there's only 2 tanks to work with. Eventually, shuttles, zealots are gonna be brought forward and dropped on top of everything. And yeah, 2 more tanks do arrive, but he's just right on top of this. It is so hard to take a good fight as Terran without enough firepower in those tanks. That's a great mine connection, though. Holy, what a mine hit there. Feeling like 4 Dragoons with 1 mine, but there it is. GG. Parking that observer right on top of the turret to deny it, but there it is. Here we go. Stork in the lead. Doubters have been smashed. Doubters in shambles. Stork down here in the bottom left-hand corner. RoyaL in the bottom right. No, I'm also a doubter, guys. I was not expecting Stork to do too well this series, but he's putting out a good set of games for us. This best of 7 is far from over. Here in game number 4. We'll see what adjustments RoyaL can make. He's been a bit heavy-handed with the early tank marine pushes, and it's worked. In that game number 2, but this game number 3, it definitely backfired. Didn't have quite as good of a read on Stork as he thought. Maybe expecting Stork to take a faster Nexus, be a little bit more greedy, but Stork was being pretty measured in his approach. Opted to get a good number of Dragoons out with that Reaver play. Easily able to handle that attack while countering with the Reavers as well. Nexus first from Stork here. And a possibility, yeah, we're going to see another gasless fast expand. So repeat of game number 1. That's interesting. It's allergy season here in Japan. So forgive me, guys, if you hear me sneezing or blowing my nose or snorting during the cast. I will try to mute that out. Allergy season here for me is not as bad as it was in Canada, honestly. Canada, I think the pollen is a little bit more intense, and also, you know, forest fires as well. Doesn't help too much. But there's definitely a presence of seasonal allergies here in Japan. I think it's kind of famous for it, actually. So, I think something to do with the cedar here in Japan. Japanese cedar. But look at this. Stork gonna throw down a proxy pylon. Is this gonna be for a Reaver? It's funny to me to see him place this proxy right there. Is that really worth it? I guess it hides the build somewhat. If this SCV gets in, it probably will get in. All right, maybe not. Zealot doing his job there. It's just funny for me to see the Reaver right there, or the Robo right there. It's like so close. Probe here. Oh, okay. Probe's coming out to try and kill that SCV. Might not realize that there's a proxy. So he's gonna get it. Nice. Does get the SCV. And we're gonna see exactly what gets proxied for Stork. Aside from this Robo, are we gonna see anything else? I mean, it's barely gonna cut down the rally time. The rally time is still so quick from the natural. This is just a tiny speed increase, just a titch, just a tad faster. could make the difference, but we'll see. A starport on the way. Okay. Might be seeing some Wraith play out of RoyaL. Maybe a bit of dropping action. Gonna run right up onto this bunker. Oh, he tries to slip by a probe. That's interesting. Bit unlucky there with the way that the targeting went. Targeting should go on to the fighting units first. The probe should be targeted last, so that's what he was hoping for. Kind of funny that the bunker targeted the probe, though. Doesn't follow the normal... doesn't follow the normal rules of targeting, I guess. That's the best way I can explain it, but... does end up losing that probe, not able to get in. Shuttle here. We're going to have a Reaver pop out in a moment, but drop on the way for RoyaL. So no Wraith first, which means I end up seeing quite a bit of damage go down, and then Stork is going to know about the dropship as well, no doubt. He'll get in here. He'll see the starport making. Oh, and he's just going to elevator into the main. Interesting. Elevator into the main is going to help him to really figure out what's going on here. Can he actually see the drop? Well, he sees all the vultures, and so he's got to be pretty suspicious. What are you doing with all these vultures right now? That's kind of funny. Oh, can he trap the tank? Not able to trap the tank. If you trap on either side of that tank with the zealots, then you can put a lot of damage on it and kill it very quickly. As it stands, he will still get the tank, and he gets all the vultures. Oh my goodness, there's nothing left. There's nothing left in this main. The Dragoon's going to continue to deal damage. Here comes the Reaver now. This Reaver going to be dropped right on top of the SCV line. More Dragoon should be coming. He's actually taking a Nexus behind this, funnily enough. Just going to go ahead and drop that Nexus. Uh-oh, there's the Wraith coming up. Take a shot at this tank. Dragoon here pushing away the Wraith. This combo, Dragoon, Reaver, a little bit hard for RoyaL to contend with right now, and the position is magnificent here for Stork. He is feeling superb at this moment. Second Reaver gets picked up. He's got a couple Dragoons pushing in as well. He could try to dive in, but I think that might be a mistake. We'll see. The Wraith is there. If he loses both these Dragoon or both these Reavers, it's pretty painful. But he could potentially kill a bunch more tanks as well. It's just kind of risky to push in like this. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, Reaver gets dropped. Big shots here from the Reavers. Oh my god, these Reaver shots are so big. And everything's gonna die, and GG. All right, Stork takes the risk. He dives in with the Reaver shuttle, and there was no siege mode or anything like that. Wraith gets taken down and easily clears out this game. Kind of an interesting build order matchup there, right? We've got the proxy Reaver play versus the drop. Here he is, Stork over in the center right, RoyaL at the top center. Stork with a good solid lead now. 3-1. It's time for the comeback. RoyaL's got to make it happen. At least get us to Metropolis, man. Let's go. I want to see that final match here on Dominator. Got Stork moving out with this early probe. Very early probe. Gonna go for the 50-50. See if he can steal a gas, but doesn't look like he's gonna get it. Wrong direction, unfortunately for him. I think he'd like to gas steal Nexus first? No. Gas steal, Gateway, into Zealot. It's just not a bad plan. Gonna force the Marines to kill the gas, and then you can come in with the Zealot and kind of battle for some SCV damage. Try to slow down the factory as much as you can. He loses the 50-50, and so he'll have to take that. Just go ahead and take his own gas. Get a bit of tech going. Doesn't go his way, but hardly anything does when you're playing Broodwar. Rare things ever really go your way. At least in my case, that's how it feels. I'm probably gonna come back to doing some streaming, Broodwar ladder again. I had a really rough Broodwar session this week, guys. Oh my god. You know, I have been playing quite a bit, and I'm hovering around 1900 still, and practicing a lot, different builds and stuff, and just trying new things, and thinking, you know, oh, I'll play off stream. It's less pressure. I'll do better. And then a couple of nights ago, or I guess it was, no, not, yeah, a couple of nights ago, I didn't have SDS in the morning, and I started playing Broodwar late at night, like maybe 10:30, something like that, which is never a good idea. Never a good idea to play Broodwar that late. And I lost like 3 games in a row, and I got really mad. And I just kept playing. I just kept raging and playing, and I played until like 5 a.m. Not a joke. I lost all my points, and I'm like C rank now, so it is what it is, guys. I'm not immune to it. I am not immune to it. We'll have to get our rank back. Like, we'll take our time, play again, but clearly playing off stream is not the perfect recipe for success. Oh my god, these zealots are getting in deep. Hold up. Getting right in here. Double factory from RoyaL. So he's just gonna 2-fact it. Doesn't seem like Stork was able to see that. It was pretty close to a scout, man. Pretty darn close. Almost got in there for that scout, but not quite able to see that second factory. Stork might be able to go ahead and kill more of these Marines, though. Yeah, he's going to kill all the Marines, man. That's it. The Marines are dead. And so now he can go over and just stand on top of the ramp. And he's going to see that there's, you know, Vulture and tank popping. As soon as he sees that Vulture and that tank, double gateway back at home, instantly just go to 3-gate goon. 3-gate goon is the right response here. 100%. Do not even take your Nexus. Do not halt on Dragoon production. Get enough units out here to just shut this down. He's already on 2 gates. Okay, he's going to go 2-gate Robo into Reaver, which is fine. This is fine. Stork, I think, is just going to win this series, guys. Straight up off of that. And this series could end really quickly. All right, just going into Observer. That's a decent choice too. I thought he would go triple gate with that, but as long as he just doesn't stop making Dragoons, I think there's not really a way for RoyaL to all in this and win. We've got the, you know, Stork's got the high ground. He's basically OB1 right now. He says, don't even try it, RoyaL. And I think RoyaL has to try it. He doesn't have a choice. It's not his pride, man. It's not that he thinks he's, you know, better than Stork or anything like that. But he just doesn't really have a choice, man. If you take a CC here, I think you just fall too far behind. We'll see, though. Maybe he takes a CC and pulls this one back. It's possible. Nexus is kind of late. The Nexus is kind of slow. It's just... Okay, Stork gonna start to push out. He's curious now. He's like, huh, well, you're not even coming. Are you really not gonna attack me with the 2-fact? Just gonna sit back at home? That's interesting. Mine's gonna get laid behind this. RoyaL hoping for a Hail Mary. He's hoping for God to take the wheel. Jesus to take the wheel. And Stork just make a big mistake. Now, is this the mistake that he was hoping for? Possibly. Gets in behind these Dragoons. He kills 2 of them without really losing too much. Dragons move to high ground. Gonna try to come in from the angle here. Yeah, see, there's the 2-fact. Okay, see, if Stork was just standing on his own high ground, he would have been absolutely fine. Now it's a little bit little bit spicy here. We'll see. Vultures maybe can run by. Gets on top of one of the tanks. Almost gets a kill on that. Running in towards mines, though. Ooh, there's mines. Oh, my gosh. Mines actually get some kills. Stork, Stork, Stork. Cancels his Nexus. Must have to lose pylons here at the front. A lot of pylons are going to go down very quickly. Gonna try and run up, put down another building. No, he can't put down another building, and now Rolls on his high ground. GG. Wow. Stork. Flew a little too close to the sun. Should have just sent the observer across the map, man. Why did we need to send all the Dragoons, too? That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild that he lost that game. I mean... That's, questionable decision making. All right. Stork losing the script in that last game. Guys, we're here on Eclipse for game number 6. Stork in the top right-hand corner. RoyaL in the bottom left. Yeah, he lost the script there. Star Wars Episode 3. He's supposed to stay on the high ground. Obi-Wan marches down the slope and just falls into the lava himself. Kind of forgot his lines there. And gave up his own high ground and absolutely burned to a crisp now. Stork on Eclipse. Can he close this one out, or are we going to see an epic comeback from RoyaL? The winds have shifted, man. The winds have changed here, but Stork is going to get in immediately for a gas steal. Now, something interesting, this SCV was sent out pretty early, and it was hidden. It was sent in a weird angle. Is he actually going to send that into the main? I thought he might proxy something. Oh, he's going to proxy a... Excuse me, an eBay at the natural. That makes sense. That makes sense. Just block the Nexus. Very good play here from RoyaL. And look at this. Stork not attacking the SCV immediately. That means that the SCV can just cancel once it's built once it's almost dead, and it's built a lot of health onto this engineering bay. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff for RoyaL. That's gonna take a long time to deal with. And so the Nexus will be delayed. As long as he cancels that and just gets his own CC on the way. This is some good counterplay from RoyaL. Oh, I think he might have let that die. Hold on. Did that not get canceled? I see a lot of money get returned to RoyaL. Let's go ahead and say that probably was canceled, and maybe he built something at the same time while he was canceling it, so the money just kind of didn't look like it went up, but it's possible. You shouldn't have made that mistake. It would be painful, to say the least. RoyaL wants to start his own CC there, has 400 minerals, but the probe is being annoying, and okay, there we go. He does get it. At least started. Probe's being annoying. The Marines were busy in the main, so a little tiny bit of a delay on that CC back at home. Now RoyaL going to get his gas and CCs. So a bit of back and forth here in the early game. Some pretty high level stuff. eBay block and gas steal. Kind of canceling each other out somewhat. And so, Stork gonna go for another proxy after the fact. Interesting, another Reaver play. This one being a whole heck of a lot more impactful than the Radeon proxy, which was probably one of the smallest impact proxies ever, cutting down the travel time by about 3 seconds, something like that. Oh my gosh. RoyaL checking for the proxy over here, center left. I'm sure he comes down and checks in the third base, though, afterwards. If he's going to check center left. Surely he's going to check down there. Yeah, he will. He will. And so he's going to see the robo. Probably build a bunker here and just bunker push this. Could do. Could do. Yeah, there we go. He's going to start the bunker. Probe can actually kill that SCV, though. That SCV is not got a lot of health. So maybe he comes over here and just kills that. No. Okay. All right. Go get it. Kill it. There it is. He does get it. So that's something at least. But the Marines are going to come up here, shove down this robo. Maybe just cancel on that. It's going to be a good idea. Is he going to cancel? Yes. Cancel. Two Zealots are going to try to run by here into the main. Get some compensation for that. RoyaL looking good, though. This is the right move. With the bunker. Oh, the SCVs didn't get pulled off the line in time. SCVs trying to block this. Only one Marine back at home. And so the Zealots will get right up into the main. He had to cancel his machine shop to start a Vulture immediately to try and deal with this. So the build has already been thrown off a bit for RoyaL. Dragoon coming to the front. Gonna start to harass these Marines. That one Marine way lower than the other. Oh my god, the missed shot? What was that? 1 in 256? Something like that? I can't remember exactly. But it's a very low chance for the missed shot. And he happened to miss it right as he switched targets onto the low health Marine. That's kind of funny. Kind of funny in the sad way, honestly. Because Stork is just not having a good time right now and nothing is going his way. We really could have a comeback here, guys. It's possible. Vulture slips out on the map as well. Dude, Stork is just... Stork's just having a bad time, guys. Truly a bad time. Reaver. Still going to be made here back at home. Of course, you do need that robo for at least observers, even if you don't go for Reaver. So he will get that online. Vulture making its way over. Might catch some probes on the transit. One probe goes down at least. Maybe two. And will be bullied back. But survives. Oh, wow. It lives. It'll be able to come home, get repaired, and then go out for mines later. So that's very nice. RoyaL gets the kills and then gets out. Probe comes in, just going to check to see if there's a third here on the high ground. Doesn't see it, at least for now. Has his own third up and running. And so... RoyaL with 4 factories going to do a push. Interesting. 4 factory push here is pretty scary. If there's any sort of greed coming out of Stork, it could be very difficult to hold. He also knows that he did some damage to the Dragoons earlier, so this could be highly impactful. This might actually do a lot of damage. He's going to scout it with the Observer as it's coming in, but it's a little bit too close now. We got like 5. Okay, wow. That could have been a double kill, actually. Very lucky that that mine did not connect on those 2 Dragons on the left-hand side. He will push everything back up onto the high ground. Dragons here fighting up onto that high ground. 50% miss chance is really going to hurt him. One tank is sieged up. Too many Vultures here to push through. And mines are starting to connect as well. Ooh, that mine was actually pretty good for Stork. Connecting on some of these tanks as well. Only 2 tanks remain, but RoyaL's not done here. He's going to keep pushing. Shove forward, taking some tank damage. Can he get up on top of these? Oh, these tanks. Okay, should really drag that mine over there on the side. Oh, no damage on the tank though. And so this tank's gonna start to push forward. Vultures rallying up, getting some mines right in front of this base. Observer needs to be pulled back here. He's not able to get rid of all of these. Probably could pick up the Dragons, drop them on top of the tank. That'll be a good way to clean this up. Yeah, just drop on top of the tank. Should be able to get a few volleys on there. What is it? 4 volleys to kill. And we'll be able to get the remainder of the health off of that tank. Gets rid of it. Stork having a bit of a hard time right now macroing out everything. Considering how much pressure he's under, it's understandable. He really does need to keep on task here. Keep hitting these macro rounds and getting more shuttles out to drop on top of all of this stuff. And we haven't seen any Zealots just yet. Dragoons only. Is he going to be able to break through here? He's losing some units kind of for free. Okay, does get rid of the SCV, though. No more turrets going to be made for RoyaL. In fact, he's going to send another SCV. Knows how important it is that he keeps the shuttles pinned down. Don't allow the shuttles just run out on top of all this. Oh my gosh, he's going to dive on one of these tanks. He gets one. But man, does it cost him a lot of damage on these Dragoons. Not combining with the Zealot to dive on top at the same time. And now the additional SCV arrives. Reaver here as well. Oh, okay. Takes a pot shot there, but only gets a bit of damage on one of those vultures. So go ahead and force some shots out. Can he get the big money shot? No! He needed a shot on the middle of that tank clump. Wasn't able to get it. I think RoyaL's got this, guys. The Reaver went down there. And yeah, if he had got... like, I think he was aiming for the tank at the front on the right. If he hits that tank, he would have gotten splash on all 3 tanks. And possibly could have broken through. But now the tanks are on the backside of these minerals. Got turrets, or sorry, buildings floating over here to give him vision of these probes. This is where Eclipse really does start to favor the Terran. Once you can get into this spot, it's so hard to deal with. You just can't get around that backside. It's a very tight corridor. Just getting over there and not getting counterattacked is the hard part. So he's managed to do that. Stork has almost no recourse. I'm going to try to get something done with this Reaver on the other side, but disarm me in front. I mean, you just can't break this. There's just no way you're breaking this. I think he can start hit the Nexus now. Should be able to hit the Nexus now. Vultures can go behind the minerals and just kill probes. Laying down a ton of mines here at the front. Reaver trying to do a huge amount of work. Like, he needs to do so much work with this. Reaver 3 HP on that. Oh my gosh. Still, it lives. Some of the army's going to get split off for here for RoyaL to try and start killing that third. And so maybe with this, a few tanks and vultures, Goliath's moving over there, there's some hope. Can he actually dive on top of this? A lot of Zealots are going to be thrown out, but Stork is just not quite the Protoss that Best is. He doesn't get the great mine connections there, and yeah, he specializes in other things. Breaking out of of attacks like this is not his forte. He's gonna lose all of his Dragoons, and this one tank here at the bottom is so annoying, guys. It's so frustrating to kill that tank. Getting in with a Vulture now, and Dragoons on the high ground. Should be able to clear that out. One gateway over here is kind of interesting. One gate over at the third to just make Dragoons up there on the high ground. That's actually kind of saving him a little bit, but it's still such a desperate spot. They're going to move some Dragoons out of this containment. Start to leverage them out on the map. Look to hit this from behind. 19 kills. Oh, that tank spot. So dirty. Stork going to go for a counter. Reaver, Dragoon in the shuttle. I don't know if this is going to work, guys, but this is probably the last chance for Stork. Ah, he didn't block. He didn't build a pylon. I think that's it, guys. I think that's got to be it. Tanks here popping out. Of course, the Dragoons are going to be able to clear them up pretty solidly. Let's go after that tank, and the Reaver's doing a lot of work, but dude, if Stork had maybe saved the third, all the probes at the third, possibly there's a chance. He lost every probe, though. Didn't buy enough time, and he is going to lose the Reaver as well. That Reaver is super low. And so down to just 24 probes to the 38. It's just not going to work. Not enough. Nexus goes down in the natural. Zealots are going to come out there still slow, still no speed on them. They can't drag the mines all the way into the midst of these tanks. And so with 2 Dragoons dying here, Stork is going to tap out. There it is. GG, guys. Game number 7. Let's go. All right, guys, we're hopping into our final game of the night, and I'm switching up the music here. I'm going to be listening to some music from the game Bar. It's my second favorite. My second favorite RTS of all time. Actually, it was a little bit quiet. I'll turn it up a bit. There we go. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's quite an epic soundtrack, so hopefully it fits with the mood here in game number 7. Everything on the line in this final game. We got Stork over here in the bottom left. Cross map situation, and it looks like a perfect opportunity to go for another Nexus first. We'll see, though. Is he going to go for that or not? RoyaL. Gotta be counting his lucky stars in this series. After that 2 factory miraculously worked out for him. Managed to snag another win on that very difficult TVP map, Eclipse. Now there's Nexus first here, bottom left. We're all not going to be too happy about that. Cross map Nexus first. But you can make miracles happen. We've seen it. We've seen him defy the odds so far in this series. Let's see if he can possibly find a way in this game as well. Gonna be throwing down a very fast factory, guys. That was a 223, 224 factory. Very quick. Very quick indeed. He's gonna pull everything off of gas. And so it's definitely for some vultures here. He's gonna switch off the SCV, barely slowing that down at all. But slowing down this mining here by forcing the SCVs off the line. Can he actually get an SCV kill? Oh, it's so close. 3 HP on that, but the probe comes, or the, oh, revenge. Shuts him down. That's what you like to see. That SCV had had enough, man. It was mad. He comes out swinging. Shuts that probe down after taking all that harassment. Gotta feel good. SCV makes its way into the main. Sees everything. Guys, how's the level for the music here? Hope it's not too overwhelming. You guys in the SOOP chat, let me know. SCVs are going to be pulled. He's going to try and bust this with the vulture. Marines coming here as well. Is he going to start the bunker here at the front? Zealot. Looking for some purchase on these Marines, but going to be blocked to the side by the SCV. Doesn't decide to move around the right-hand side. Instead, going to back up into the natural. Second gateway's on the way, but he's going to fight with probes, not giving it up. He doesn't want to give up this natural just yet. He's going to let 1 probe die and then backs up into the main. Hold on. Bringing down this Dragoon. Probes are going to fight with the SCVs. Really not the greatest fight for the probes, but he's going to try it. Loses the vulture here. Going after the SCVs. Can he get the SCV in the bunker? He does. He gets the SCV on the bunker. Can he target down another SCV on the bunker? Going after the Marines. He tries to kill all the Marines. He gets the last Marine. 1 Marine making its way down here into the bunker. 1 Marine is all that RoyaL can get in. He keeps the Dragoon alive. That's pretty big. 2 Dragoons, and he gets rid of that mineral patch on the ramp. Can Stork survive? 17 probes left. He has to break this bunker. Cannot allow the Nexus to die here. And not allow the Nexus to die here. He goes down right as the mine comes up. Good target fire on these mines, getting the mines out of the way so that he can still potentially break this. Going for the mine here on the left-hand side. And move over here to the left. Now opening up a lane, though, for the Vulture to slip up into the main. Very close to finishing this upgrade. Getting the SCVs here to deal a little bit of extra DPS. Oh, gotta pull back that Dragoon. He needs to pull the trigger here. He needs to pull the trigger on breaking this bunker. He is starting to hit it. Still quite a bit of health on this Nexus. I believe he will break this. Dragoon is going to go down, though. Dragoon, hold the Dragoon. There we go. He is going to keep that alive. Tries to drag the mine. Almost kills the Marines in the bunker, but there we go. The Marines hop back in, and the bunker goes down, and he will live. Woo. Very close to a bust there. Stork almost loses his Nexus. He is still in this game. He's got 26 probes to the 24 SCVs of RoyaL as his CC finishes up here. He will get to mining on that. Stork pushing out here onto the high ground. I'm going to push back this Vulture. Make sure that that mine can't get set up to potentially slow down his third. Quite a good back and forth here initially in this game. I'm liking it. And a very quick third will be coming out of Stork. Is this going to be another 2-base push from RoyaL? Potentially it could be. We've seen him do this quite a lot when he gets some damage going in the early game with these first pushes. He likes to follow it up with a very quick attack. He knows that Stork is on the back foot, and if he puts down this Nexus really quick, might not have enough fighting units to deal with this. Or with a 2-base push. I'm not sure if this is what RoyaL's going for. I just assume because he's been so aggressive, dealing all that damage early. Well, he did kill quite a few probes as well. Quite a bit of damage there. Ooh, okay. This is also a great way to follow up. He's done he's done damage early on. He's gonna follow with a Starport proxied in top left. Great setup from Stork, though. Look at his pylon wall on that left-hand side in his main. He's going to set up a spotter pylon in the main as well. Good chance that Stork actually just dunks this. Very possible. He's got a lot of Dragoons ready for this push that's coming up. He doesn't have much information on it, though. The Observer's moving across, and this is calculated by RoyaL to kind of dodge the Observer. All right. Not gonna be able to move around that Observer there. Gonna come in with all the tanks. Oh, RoyaL gotta be really careful. That's a lot of Dragoons, man. Yeah, he's gotta run for the hills, but this is what's setting him up for this incoming drop. He's gonna bait this army out onto the map and then go for the drop. I don't think he's quite got the dropship out just yet, but you can see he's sending the Vultures around the side. Looking for the run by into the natural. Natural's kind of wide open. 4 Dragoons here, but they're not in the greatest spot. Nexus just started, so these Vultures actually kind of trapped themselves into this third base. They don't have anywhere to run, so those Vultures are dead. And that means he doesn't really have much to throw in the dropship. This is kind of weird spot for RoyaL. Okay, he doesn't trap the Vultures. Dude, Stork made a big mistake there. He should have just trapped the Vultures on the high ground and killed them all. Completely for free, but he will get them in the end. It's just, he didn't need to take any damage there. He didn't need to lose any probes. But yeah, the fact still remains. Not a lot of Vultures out, and this drop doesn't have a huge amount of potential, guys. There's Dragoons back at home that are ready for this. The SimCity is very good. He's got a spotter pylon. Let's see how quickly he reacts. Stork sees that drop coming in, and he's going to pull the Dragoons immediately over here. Start to deal with these Vultures. Just needs to get the Dragoons into that spot. Gets them into the pocket here really quick, and he's going to shut down this drop too. Ooh, the drop goes down. No Vultures make it out. Excellent hold here for Stork. RoyaL on the back foot, dude. Stork's looking great right now. After a couple of difficult games, he's managed to pull it together, man. And should be able to put up a very good fight. RoyaL gonna have a hard time. He can take a third with relative ease. We'll see how smoothly this third base comes up for RoyaL. I think he kind of has to try to take that. Gonna be very hard to initiate a push against Stork with this good of a position. It's kind of a numbers game. Stork just gonna have a lot. It'll be very hard to break through all that. Pushing through the middle of the map, especially cross map, it's gonna be tough. So yeah, it looks like he will take this third. Let's see how smoothly he can get this up. I think the Stork will just take his fourth, but he could try to deny that. He could try to dive in that with a bunch of shuttles. There are 2 Wraiths, though, that have been made. Interesting. Double Wraith. See that Observer and Wraith kind of cuddling up there over at the third base. Wraith play can be a really, really strong way to deal with the mass shuttle, but you have to be very on top of things. You have to be constantly sniping these observers and looking out for these drops as they're coming in, targeting them down properly. If the Wraiths don't kill the shuttles, then they're absolutely worthless. And they do not fight well against ground army at all. So the setup here is going to be key, and then the Wraith control is going to be very important too. Oh, the natural is just not very well set up here. A lot of this army just kind of sitting in the front, and Stork might just dive right in on this. And if he dives in right now and RoyaL's just not set up, these tanks are not going to take a great fight. Here comes that drop going into the main base. There's the Reaver, double Reaver. Want to work here, killing off some SCVs. Wraiths are going to be pulled forward. Here comes the main army going into the natural. We're not getting it on screen right now, but it's going to dive right on top of these tanks. Here we go. Jumping on the tanks. Yeah, see, no good mine setup here, and the tanks are mostly unsieged. And so he's just going to be able to break through a lot of this, kill a lot of these tanks. And although a lot of Dragoons are going down, look, he's going to get up on top of this high ground. Can he get the tank too? Oh, the repair is not quite good enough. Another tank going to come up onto this high ground? No, it's going to be denied here from the low ground. More tanks coming forward. A lot of tanks here for RoyaL, but so many of them have been killed. Oh, if only RoyaL was a little bit better set up. It would have been ready for that attack. Not sure what was lost right there. Seems like the armory is still alive, still active, bumping away on those upgrades. And so Stork maybe hasn't dealt the critical blow, but he's very much lowered this tank count and slowed down RoyaL by a lot. Any prospective push that may be coming out of RoyaL has been pushed back by minutes due to this shutdown on the tank count. Oh, mine's almost connecting there. Could have been very impactful. Here comes a shuttle. Shuttle gonna come in with 2 Dragoons. Kind of an interesting drop there. Tanks coming to high ground. Oh, he's trying to bait the mine so he can kill it. Nicely done. Nicely done. Tanks on the high ground. 3 of them. That's definitely going to be enough to dissuade Stork from a hasty attack up that ramp. And so RoyaL will stabilize for now. Gets his science facility up. His second armory is finishing as well. Still a very difficult spot here for RoyaL, but with the structure of this map, the third base, quite easy to take. Fourth base is going to be really tough. It's going to be a very hard sell for RoyaL. Trying to get that third base online. Or fourth base online, excuse me. Going to have to push out pretty far to make that happen. He just doesn't have the tank number here just yet. Some good snipes on observers and stuff is helping. It's making things a little easier. He scans the cyber core. That's a good call right there. That definitely a smart move from Stork. Now this map is going to make things particularly difficult. You can see the main base is so wide open in the backside. On the right hand side there. Is he aware of this though? He's got a bunch of turrets here, a good number of turrets already, and the Wraiths are going to dive on this immediately. All right, this is good control from RoyaL. He gets as much damage as he can on those, and 2 shuttles go down. Although most of the units do end up getting out, he can't just continue to leverage masses of units into this main base. Tanks are going to come up here. Vultures will come up. This is mostly Zealot on top of the high ground. And so one shuttle at a time is just not going to cut it. He's not going to make anything really start to happen in this main. These tanks on the low ground, on the low ground here at the natural, just crushing. Drop here into the third base. Storm! Huge storm here. Oh, a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Look at how few SCVs remain after that. Still 48 SCVs total, but that was painful. RoyaL dealing with a lot. A good multi-pronged attack from Stork, hitting multiple locations at the same time. Drawing the attention. Stork got the damage he needed. Honestly, RoyaL playing with some finesse, though, handling that attack in the main. That's what I was talking about with the Wraiths. Like, you gotta get in there, just really target fire, get the damage as much as you can on the shuttles. That's their role, and if you don't micro that perfectly, if they're not in the right spot, the Wraiths are kind of useless. Now, if he'd sent the Wraiths over to the third and shut down the additional shuttle coming in, it would have been perfect, but it is what it is. Nobody's perfect in this game. Aside from, you know, maybe Flash. Possibly Flash, but even he doesn't play every game perfect, doesn't make every single move that he should. And I hope you guys don't think that I'm being overly critical of these players, or I think that I'm somehow better than them. I'm absolutely not. But in order to critically think and pull these games or cast these games, you know, we need to be able to make mistakes, risk offending people. It is what it is. Drop over here in the top left is a pretty good move, right? I mean, he can't really attack right now, but if he can get some damage going with a drop, maybe he can pull Stork out of position so that he can try to take his fourth. If Stork is just sitting out here in front of his natural, not really moving and just waiting for him to come out, I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard to get in there. Okay, storm again, but not the greatest storm. Okay, that's a good storm right there. Ugh. Quite a lot of damage. Still 52 workers, though, and all the storm is now gone. Possibility that he gets in here. Okay, drop on the high ground's pretty cool. Start to set up some probe kills here. Can pick up once again as well. Drop onto the low ground. Keep this harassment going, but a bunch of Dragoons are going to make their way into position now. He will target that down. One shot on the probe line, but that's the best he can do. 163 supply means RoyaL's ready to push. Okay, baits a storm. Not bad. No storm now available. Okay, one on the right-hand side, but actually beyond that, okay, one storm in the middle of these tanks. But this is going really well for RoyaL. You know what? He pushes this back easily. Okay, RoyaL is alive here. He's existing on the map. And he's pushing towards the middle. He's going to take that stacked mineral patch middle of the map and start to push everything away. Oh, okay. Storms here on the front lines. There are some Goliaths in this forest. Unsiege here is a great idea. No storms available, so no splash damage. The Vultures are going to get dealt with, and now the tanks are in high enough numbers still to push everything back. Very good fights here from RoyaL, honestly handling this brilliantly. Arms there in the back line. Stork with some very good rallies, getting up here just in the nick of time to get a bit more damage going. He's got the bottom right. RoyaL cannot allow that to stand, but he first needs to secure the center. Get this base online. Stacked mineral patches are going to give him a good amount of additional income here while he sends Vultures down to bottom right to try and deny that base. Looks like he will be able to deny that as well. So that's very good. Stopping that. Oh, the storm. Okay, no storm available. All right, update. Templar that didn't have any energy in it. Tiny bit of a mistake there from Stork, but it's okay. Still in a pretty decent spot. I just thought he would take a better fight as the army pushed out, but he did throw away a lot of Templar trying to storm the top center. semi-successfully. Now pushing in with a lot of Zealots. Nice D-Matrix there on the front line of tanks. Not a lot of Vultures here to assist, but enough to keep himself alive. Oh, the Storms are pretty good. Storm dealing a lot of damage there, but not killing off these tanks. Definitely needs a repair on a lot of these tanks right now. So many of them are super low. In fact, that one on 4 HP. Definitely needs to get a repair going. The SCVs are so close. Just getting that repair. 1 HP on that other tank. Holy God. So many of these. Incredibly low. Now Stork moving towards that bottom right. He's gonna have to contend with this middle. It's starting to get very well established, and RoyaL can fan out. Start to hit different areas. Start to cut off lanes with just tactical mine positioning. Stork gonna push down to bottom right. Can he get a probe over there, though, is the real question. Seems like he's escorting one probe down towards bottom right. It's just been spotted by RoyaL, but he hasn't sent any Vultures down there to deal with that just yet. Instead, moving towards center left and top left. Don't want to allow Stork to get this base. Primarily, though, don't allow him to get the high ground base. If he gets the high ground with lots of cannons and a few gateways up there to start making Templar, then it becomes really difficult to break. RoyaL moving up towards top left. Drop here, not doing so well. Getting shut down immediately. That's a lot of Goliaths now. And the army is looking powerful here. RoyaL hitting his late game upgrades and holding the middle still. Stork kind of poking and prodding, seeing what he can do there, but in fact, RoyaL will get center right as well. With that base online, plus the middle, he's kind of secured his future. However, he is allowing Stork to get bottom right. And bottom right is the most important base on the map. If Stork can hold that base down in bottom right, he can take this all the way. And RoyaL's going to have a really hard time dealing with the rallies coming from all different directions. Surprised to see him rotating his army over here. I thought maybe he would just keep that army in bottom right and just keep storming from high ground, but he wants to come down the ramp. Archon here trying to bait some fire onto this tank, but not able to get it. Storm on this one tank. He wants to try and keep the Nexus alive. He's doing a very good job of just slowing this down by a lot. Zealot there. Able to bait some mines. Vultures coming up, more army being committed to this top left. 178 supply for RoyaL. Got a pretty decent supply here to work with. Storm's getting a lot of these kills on Vultures, and Stork's almost got enough, I think, to try and break the center. He's slowed down the kill on this Nexus by so much. He's forced... Oh my God, that mine connection too. Tanks just slowly pushing this down, but he's kept this Nexus alive for an inordinate amount of time, and maybe it's time to break the center. Here we go. Army pushing forward. Lots of Dragoons here to clear the mines at the front, and then the Zealots should be rallying behind all that. These tanks are way too stacked. The Storms, no. EMP comes out. That EMP is huge. EMP breaking that, and he targets down the Templar there at the front line. So no great Storms here to land on top of these tanks and actually start to clear them out. Zealots pushing forward here, but they're getting cleaned up in that mineral line. Vultures and tanks dealing a huge amount of damage. They're missing out on the opportunity to snipe down a lot of those tanks with Storm. Evening out the supply here. That fight did not go Stork's way. Didn't push out the middle, but he's still holding bottom right. Just not in a very strong position anymore. So much army was given away for that attack. However, and start to rotate stuff down to the bottom right, and he keeps the Nexus alive. How crazy is that? He still has that Nexus spot atop left. Unreal, keeping that alive at this point. RoyaL's been pushing into that spot for so long. Only 3 tanks pushing forward here. That's a good opportunity to dive, but D-Matrix turns the army back. In fact, he'll just run up on the high ground here with some Dragoons. Start to kill some turrets and open up the position. Maybe he can get a Storm or 2 up there. Storms would be really brutal from that high ground. Storm. No. EMP comes down and the tank's target down. There we go. Some good storms killing off some SCVs. 51 SCVs remain. Still enough. Enough here for, what, 2 base mining, 3 base mining. Royal's going to be feeling fine with that. Not a lot of army down here in bottom right. And he didn't add those gateways, those critical gateways I was talking about earlier. So he might actually lose this base. Stork not preparing for the late game. Look at how much minerals he's got. He's got 1,600 minerals in the bank. Just didn't add enough. Defenses down here in the bottom right. He should have had cannons on high ground, gateways down here ready to fight. But instead now he's on the back foot trying to pull Zealot Dragoon down here to the bottom right from his rally point to actually clear this. He's gonna get a couple more tanks, but dude, the writing is on the wall for Stork. Not able to save this bottom right. That was his win condition right there, keeping that alive. And so RoyaL splits him up. Stork definitely can start to mine over here in top left at least. That's for sure going to be a thing here in a moment. These probes could get caught though. Probes on their way up to top left. Are they going to get caught? There's at least one tank over there to start hitting them. And yeah, he's going to lose a lot of probes making their way up into that top left base. Does manage to saturate that. Should be bringing around some shuttles as well to drop those probes. He picked up a lot of probes over at bottom right to try and save those. Still has a reasonable economy here. Another scan, I believe, just went down in the main. Checking the cybernetics score. Still not spinning. No carrier transition as of yet. RoyaL has a clear victory condition in his mind. All he needs to do is take bottom right. Take bottom right. Set up a lot of turrets down here. Set up the tanks. And just stop Stork from getting that base online, and he should be good to go. Split the map in half. With him holding the center, that's a winning proposition. Stork is going to have to do everything he can to break that bottom right, and if that fails, he'll have to take the middle and go for the main. That middle is standing in between him and a counterattack, and so pushing up towards his top left. That's a little bit surprising from RoyaL, but he catches some Dragoons here. Yeah, he's not going to push all the way up to top left. No reason to be doing that while he's taking bottom left. Oh, shuttles here just kind of running into turrets. Uh-oh. Bit of a misclick there from Stork. Struggling in these late game situations. Struggling to put everything together. Storm there, not the best Storm. Trying to catch some workers moving, rotating. A lot of shuttles down here. Looks like Stork might be able to deny the bottom right. If he can kill these tanks on high ground and lodge an army up there, then maybe he can get a probe over and start to reset up that location. He made a mistake earlier by not like fully locking down this bottom right hand corner, but he could right the wrongs of the past here in a moment. Hold up, he's really losing a lot and his supply is plummeting. Stork still has 2,700 minerals in the bank. Great storms in the retreat, but he doesn't get up onto that high ground like I thought he would. Getting up onto the high ground would be good. These are some great storms. Holding a lot of this back. Still has plenty of Templar here at the rally point as well. Can bring more of them to bear. But RoyaL's going to start to set up that bottom right again. Stork slipping on his macro bits. 2,600 minerals in the bank. Stork need to spend that money, and look, it just disappeared. All that money just went away. Stork hits a fat macro round. He's decided what he needs coming up here for this next fight. He's going to pump that out and get ready to try and deny that bottom right. He has to deny bottom right. And in fact, probably needs to take it himself if he wants to win this game. Storms up here on the high ground to make himself an Archon. EMP goes down on that Archon, making it kind of useless. In fact, he's going to kill it with 2 hits from a Vulture. That goes away. And the EMPs are pretty good. Just trying to kill SCVs there. Stork not really getting a lot of damage in that regard. 53 workers, still more than enough here for RoyaL. Army has been remade. Nearly maxed out is Stork. Is it time to push into the middle again? Seems that way. He's going to come from all these different angles. There's a nice D-matrix at the front. I think we need to just see a huge army leveraged up onto the high ground at bottom right. Just start dumping army into that bottom right pocket. You can see RoyaL's making turrets there. He knows. He knows that this is probably the right move. And so we'll probably see Stork start to move into that area. Getting prepared for that initially. It's not going to be enough to prevent this from occurring, but he can at least soften up the shuttles as they come in. This is mostly Zealot army. Here comes a Storm. Storm on... Okay, on... Wow, not really much of anything. There's the Storm on the tanks now, finally, getting some of those. But honestly, this doesn't not make as much of a wave as he was hoping for. Another couple of Storms here. Storm again. Storm again. Another tank goes down, but a Redding is on the wall here for Stork. He's got a great supply, but he's just got a losing proposition here. Bottom right is going to be taken by RoyaL, undoubtedly. Does he make Arbiter now? Like, what does he do? To make Carrier? I don't think he can make Carrier at this point. I think you need to, as soon as you realize that this is what RoyaL's gunning for, taking the bottom right, maybe start making Carrier, and you can possibly have a good fight from there. Good chance in this game, but he's making this a little bit too late. He's gonna try and get in between the rallies in bottom right and make a go for it. Oh, Zealot's gonna be dropped on this high ground. Can pull some mines into this and start to kill the tank up there. Dragoon's getting drug up north though. Needed to pull those down. Wasn't able to get those down there, and so he barely breaks this. Barely. Let's see if he's going to go down on that ramp. Tank there, but reinforcements will make their way to the south. And there's not enough Storm to deal with these reinforcements. So Stork is just going to get pushed back, and this base will be reestablished. And we're back to square one after the attacks into the middle, and that push goes off. Not really much progress has been made. Push towards the middle, but that's mined out. No point in even holding this anymore. RoyaL just gonna let that go. I'll hold down a little bit of a position here with some of these tanks, but his main concern is bottom right. In fact, I'm kind of surprised to see this many tanks in the middle. I really thought he would pull more of his army down to bottom right, but he is setting up a lot of turrets down there now. His Stork is just running out of gas. He's running out of mining. And RoyaL just has too much economy. Too much money for Stork to really deal with. He's going to be maxing out again here pretty soon. His upgrades are a cut above. Floating CC. I think that's from the middle of the map. Dive in with some more Storms. Once again, trying to kill SCVs, but not really going to matter too much. Even with all these SCV kills, RoyaL still has 51. More than enough to mine this bottom right-hand corner. Stork, one final attack. Here he goes. Bunch of Templar in this force. Gonna try to cut through this army. That's a lot of army, though. Holy, that's so many tanks. The back line is deep and long. Down to 97 supply at the end of that fight. The 130 of a RoyaL. Just wanted to try it. Just send the army in. That 3 attack, mincing the Dragoons, and Zealots. Templar able to get some of their Storms off, but not nearly enough. And so Stork gonna slowly bleed out of this game. 1 mining base remains, whereas RoyaL sitting here on 3 mining bases. That center right will mine out here shortly, but even when it does, that bottom right will sustain him all the way through to the end, guys. We're 35 minutes in. And Stork has just about run out of options. He's looking for another good fight here, but nothing is going to go his way. D-Matrix in the front, slowing him down even further. And that tank line in the back, I think we're going to see the tap out moment here as everything absolutely melts. There it is. GG RoyaL with the comeback. And he makes it work. Excellently done. I mean, Stork's going to be looking back on that 2 factory that he ended up losing. And kind of kicking himself for that one, but GG, guys. Yes. A very good game. Both players tried their hearts out, played their hearts out. Absolutely true. Looks like my my photo editor is not working. Hold on. I can put a W up on the board here for Stork. Fun series. Very fun series between these two. A lot of good back and forth. Yeah, definitely going to be kicking himself there. Making one big mistake on Dominator and giving RoyaL the path to a comeback. That Eclipse game's probably going to be annoying him, nagging him in the back of his head as well. Such a strong map for Protoss, but RoyaL really showing his grit in this game, bringing it back, and taking a win for the Terrans, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this series. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. I'm not sure, actually, who we're going to get tomorrow. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. Another week of SDS, guys. In fact, I think we've got 2 more weeks. We got this week and then next week. So that's quite exciting. That will be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that music, too, in the last game. Let me know in the comments if you're a fan of that or not. I think I might be doing some videos for Bar in the future. I've been saying that I was going to do it for a while, but I've just been kind of enjoying it on the side when I'm kind of through with the laddering, as it were. Get a little tired of Broodwar ladder here and there, so it's a nice RTS. Might need slightly more volume, only a tiny bit. You'll hear it back. Okay. Sounds good. I'll check it out myself. Maybe I can pump it a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys. Mundane Dave. Thanks for being here, Mustrum. Appreciate you guys for supporting the stream. Mozzie. You haven't been typing for a while, but I assume you possibly still there. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Oh, we're going to be doing the SCSL tonight, by the way. SCSL, that'll be in about 7 hours. Shin and I will be doing that live. It'll be Group D, E, something like that. Anyways, guys, we'll see you there. Peace.